Alright, so this will be a video review of the First Alert Auto 5 fire extinguisher. So here we go. So this is a pretty small fire extinguisher, so this is great if you need a fire extinguisher and you don't have a whole lot of space, because it's about 12 inches tall, even less than that. The mounting bracket that it comes equipped with has a couple little screw holes, so all you have to do is just find some screws and then you can install this wherever you find a place to put it. And this mounting bracket also does a pretty good job at holding the extinguisher in place. So to release it, you just pull it out like that, just unsnap it, and then pops right out. So here's the extinguisher itself without being in the container. So you got a plastic head, so obviously to be expected with a disposable fire extinguisher, and this one says one-time use. So once you shoot this off, even if you don't fully discharge it, anytime you discharge this, you break the seal, it's going to leak out. So you always have to, replace it. So this does not have a pressure gauge, but this little green button does serve the purpose for checking the pressure. So you push down and then let go of it. As long as it pops right back up just like that, you're good to go. If you push down and it stays down, then there's an indication that there's not enough pressure in there and then you'd have to replace the unit. So you got yourself a plastic pull pin. So in the event of a fire, you will pull the pin. As soon as you do that, it is locked in. It's designed to be locked in for that reason until you're ready to use it, but when you do pull it out, it's going to break that. So it should only take a couple pounds of force to pull the pin. I will demonstrate that when I do a live fire test with this. So here we go. This extinguisher is not refillable, obviously. This one's filled with 1.38 pounds of sodium bicarbonate with plus 50/50 that's what it says it's in it. Since it's sodium bicarb and due to the size, it's only rated for class B and C fires, so flammable liquids like gasoline, and it's non-conductive back at the operator. So this one's only a couple years old. It's not too terribly old. I've had this sitting around for a little while. I've been wanting to test this one, and I will get to do that. So something else worth noting, this thing only has 1.38 pounds of extinguishing agent. Even though it doesn't say exactly what it's pressurized to, I'm assuming it's usually about 100 psi. For something this size, it's going to be pressurized to 100 psi. This one has a UL rating, its classification of 5 BC, which that means 5 square feet of class B material and non-conductive. So this has a UL rating of 5 BC. And if you all remember one of my last few videos, I did that little black HDR. I know that's not the exact one, but it's close enough. This is another one of my smallest fire extinguishers in my collection. This is pretty much effectively the exact same size. The cylinder is literally the same. This is pressurized a little bit over 100, but it operates at 100 psi. And this has a UL rating, if I can find it, there we go, of 2 BC, so 2 square feet. And this only holds 1 pound. Lost it there. This holds exactly 1 pound of dry chemical. So I'm actually kind of curious, how can another 0.38 pounds of agent in this one put out an extra 3 square feet of fire? I mean, it's kind of hard. It's going to be pretty close. So I trust the UL rating on this little guy. This is an Amerex. I trust the UL rating on this because, I mean, these little itty bitty fire extinguishers are not meant to put out big fires. But yeah, I'm very curious to see how the First Alert does. So I will do a live fire test here, which that will be coming up momentarily. So figured this is, I'll show you the kind of agent, what the agent looks like. That's sodium bicarbonate. Try to give you guys a good view of it. It's just that very fine white powder. This will never work on Class A materials, so this is only good for working on Class B and C rated fires. So that'll be enough chit chat for now, so I'm going to go outside and I will get things set up and show you guys how the extinguisher works. So I'll be back momentarily. Okay, so I'm finally outside here. I got it all set up. So I'll zoom in and show you here. So I got that pan right there. It's just an aluminum foil pan. I have a little bit of gasoline in it. Not a whole lot, but just enough for a basic fire. So that's what I'm going to be testing this extinguisher on. Okay, so I want to explain something really quick. So, in order for this to pass my inspection, this has to be able to function properly, has to be relatively easy to use, and it has to be able to extinguish the fire, obviously, but also be able to do it safely and not have an issue. Sometimes, for example, maybe push down on it with the pin out, push down on the lever and nothing happens, or push down on the lever and then I discharge the agent and then let go and it gets stuck closed. If the valve gets stuck open, that can happen on some of these. Or if the extinguisher itself does not put out the fire, then I will not recommend it. And like I said, that's got a little bit of fuel in it. I'd say probably about 10-15 milliliters. It's not a ridiculous amount. So it has to be able to completely extinguish that, at least just the once. I might relight it like I did with the H3R, if you remember that one. Might relight it and then extinguish, see if it'll keep extinguishing the fire in case of an issue where the fire relights, and that can happen in some cases too. So I just wanted to explain that really quick. And also, before I begin, in case anything does go wrong, and I take safety seriously, I have a fully charged 5-pound dry chemical fire extinguisher. It's my good old-fashioned Amerex on standby. So in case anything goes wrong, I have this one on standby. I will come run and grab it if something does happen. Alright. I'm going to light the fire. It'll be time to test it. Pull the pin. See, it broke right out, so it's ready to go. Alright. It's hot. Here we go. Well, that's a good sign. We'll have to do a pre-burn again just for a sec. Well, that's a good sign. It's working as intended. I'm going to give it one more shot. there we go. Looks like it works as intended. That little green button thing is all the way in there. Just a little bit of agent coming out of it. So far it's working pretty good. I'm gonna finish this off. Alright, it's out. So let me go ahead and give you guys a close-up. This one's kind of interesting. The agent is actually, it's like when there's enough there, it's actually blue, which is kind of interesting. The rest of it's white all over, but that's kind of interesting that it's all blue on top of the fuel. There's still a little bit left in there, but I'm not going to relight it because the extinguisher is now out. So there we go. I'd say yes, it certainly passes the inspection. And I believe when I bought this was about 15 bucks or so. Can't remember how much I paid for this, but it wasn't very much. So, do I recommend this? Yes, I do, actually. If you don't have one of these, then you need to just go buy yourself some of these. They work really good. And yeah, it's not, the valve stem's not sticking at all, so that's good. So this is actually a very good fire extinguisher, so I actually do recommend these. So, I think that'll be it for now, so thank you all for watching. I will be doing some more fire extinguisher videos in the near future. Oops, thank you for watching.